Well, I guess there are three reasons: the loss of confidence among voters in general, loss of confidence by his own MPs, who, as you pointed out, have rebelled against his leadership. They're not overwhelming numbers, but they're getting more numbers every day. And thirdly, because he lost the confidence of his most important cabinet minister, Christian Freeland, and her resignation was a slap in the face, a biting resignation, letter accusing him of engaging in political gimmickry with little handout Christmas time checks, $250 to sort of bribe the voters. She thought that was ridiculous, and she said so. And so once you lose that much confidence, well, your time is up.
Yeah, that's so true. And what about Canada-US relations moving forward, considering the fact that they had that interesting meeting with President-elect Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump talking about Canada being the 51st state and whatnot, but also these tariffs that President-elect Trump has threatened to impose on Canada if the immigration situation isn't resolved?
The Canadians have already taken whatever action they can with respect to the border to try to make a case to the American incoming administration. Look, we've already done what you wanted us to do. You wanted to harden the border to immigrants flooding across the border into the United States. Well, number one, they're not. And number two, you want us to stop drugs flooding across the border into the United States. Well, look, we've got helicopters, we've got barbed wire, we've got guards everywhere. We're throwing another $1 billion into protecting the border. So we've done what you wanted us to do. Now, the Americans can always argue, well, yeah, but that spending was already in the pipeline. It's not going to. If they want to make a fuss about it, then you can. And of course, they're less likely to make a fuss about it if there is a conservative administration in Ottawa, and they don't have to deal with Justin Trudeau. So at the moment, it's a difficult situation for any incoming leader. They may wish that Trudeau announces his resignation as leader, but says that he's going to stay on until as prime minister until a replacement is found, which could take months, so that he can handle the difficult operation, delicate diplomacy with the incoming American administration, and the new leader can take over after that rather than before.
And just generally for international viewers and for many of us who aren't familiar with Canadian politics, what does this possible exit of Trudeau mean for the Liberals in general, given the sustained attacks from the opposition and allies at this point?
Well, arguably, it doesn't make much difference because he's powerless to change the Liberals' fortunes. The voters have plainly had it with Trudeau. They had it with him months ago. He's now even the most generous polls have him 20 points behind. He is toast. And so I don't think it would make very much difference to the fortunes of the party as a whole, because the voters seem to have decided, okay, it's time for a change. We're going to sweep all the Liberals out of power, not just the Prime Minister. This isn't just a personal thing about Justin Trudeau, although, of course, that is the leading factor. It's also the fact that the Canadian voters are fed up with the Liberals, are fed up with scandals, they're fed up with inflation, the price of groceries, just like voters everywhere else. It's time to throw the bums out. That's what the voters seem determined to do, regardless of what happens in the leadership race going forward in the next 2 weeks.
All right, well, we'll be watching very closely. Terry Milewski, thank you so much for joining us on WION. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.